Hi, good morning. You are welcome to my program, Money for the Truth. I'm speaking to you live from Ghana, West Africa, and I'm in Takrady. Money for the Truth is the process of digging to discover the undiluted doctrines of Christ, our Church of Christ. I welcome all my viewers from all over the world: Australia, USA, Dubai, Nigeria, South Africa, India, and everywhere in the world, including Ghana. I thank all those who have been donating to make the program a success. God bless you so much, and may He continue to multiply your income. I welcome Brother Samuel Kobina, Brother Konumensa, the church at Eccl campus, all my listeners, and finally Doris Odonko, Mrs. Atta. I love you so much. Actually, I've missed you, knowing very well that you have also missed me. We are continuing with the theme, Train Up the Child in the Lord. Train up the child in the Lord. So we have this as the theme, and topic is responsible parenthood. Responsible parenthood. Last week was episode 2. The video is doing well. In fact, you have been doing well to stream or to watch. And the title was the concept of train up. The concept of train up. Thank you for watching anyway. Without wasting much time, we are moving straight to episode 3. Biblical perspective on single parenting and parenthood. Biblical perspective on single parenting and parenthood. Genesis 2 verse 24. Matthew 19 verse 5, I think they are saying the same thing, and then Ecclesiastes 4 verse 9 to 12. So Genesis 2:24. Let's see what we have there. Therefore a man shall leave his father and his mother and hold fast to his wife, and they shall become one flesh. Let's see the parallel verse in Matthew 19 verse 5. Let's see if you have the same thing there, and I'm sure that it will be the same thing. And said, for this cause will a man leave his father and mother and will cleave to his wife, and the two will become one flesh. And the two will become one flesh. Yeah, it is a question there. So if you continue, it is then saying that therefore they are no more two but one flesh. What therefore God has joined together, let no man separate. Ecclesiastes 4 verse 9 to 12. We're going to King Solomon. Let's see what he also said concerning marriage. Two are better than one, because they have a good reward for their toil. 10. For if they fall, one will lift up his fellow, but woe to him who is alone when he falls and has not another to lift him up. 11. And if two lie together, they keep warm, but how can one keep warm alone? The last verse 12. And though a man might prevail against one who is alone, two will withstand him. A threefold cord is not quickly broken. Biblical perspective on single parenting and parenthood. So today we are looking at parenting and parenthood. I will start by definition and then we will continue. Now, parenting refers to the activity of bringing up and looking after children to be useful citizens to the society. This is sometimes called social parents. It involves couples who adopt a child, older siblings of the child, women who are in orphanages, and crèche or nursery attendants. So parenting in simple terms means that to adapt or to look after someone's child. So if you are maybe couples who are not giving birth with barrenness, they can go to adopt. It's parenting. I say adapt. They will go to adopt. Sorry, a child. It's parenting. Or maybe the older siblings taking care of the younger siblings is also a form of parenting. You can go to orphanages, or women who are in the orphanages taking care of the orphans are also seen as a parenting, or we classify it as parenting. And then nursery teachers are also parenting. A mentor is also parenting the mentee, even though the child has his or her own parent. If you're a teacher, you are also doing what you call parent, because the words are brought to the school, then you teach and then you train them. I myself, I'm also doing parenting, of course, by having some mentees under me to take care of. Now, parenthood is the state of being a biological parent. Biological parent, mother and father giving birth. It starts from pregnancy till death. That's a lifelong process. When the mother becomes pregnant, is when the parenthood will start until the person dies. So when this child even goes into marriage, you are still the biological parent. Your work will stop when the child dies. That's why we say it is a lifelong process, lifelong, until death. So from pregnancy till death, it stops when the child dies and not when the children live. It stops when the children dies and not when the children leave home. We mean a boomerang. When you make reference to boomerang. So here I think it is so clear that when the child is not dead, your work has not stopped. When the child leaves home to start his or her own life, being married, to travel, parenthood still continues. Children are God's given gifts to parents through marriage. So we are saying that, I think I repeated this last week, that the purpose of marriage isn't always about procreation. God will decide to give you a child or not. Parents ought to nurture, teach, guide, and mentor them towards a successful future. And in God's word, whether you are doing parenting or parenthood, it is your responsibility to train the child in the Lord, as the text is in Proverbs 22 verse 6. Let's read. Today I didn't read. So let's read and see. Proverbs. I think after Psalms. Let me see, yeah, sure. So 22 verse 6. Train up the child, train up a child in the way he should go. Even when he is old, he will not depart from it. Yes. So even when the child is old, because of the training being in parenting or parenthood, he will not depart from it. There are so many debates in this life that once the child has grown, he has the right to make his own choices. Oh, of course, even human beings, as creatures of God, he is not forcing us to even worship him. There are people who are denying that there is God. Christ is not the Lord, a whole lot. Christ will not come and save the world, a whole lot. God is not begging you to go and then worship him. I've been telling my students that I don't beg students to come to my class. You are a student to study. I don't study for the student. So the student, it is your duty to come to my class to learn. I don't beg any student to come to my class. When I go to class, I announce, if you're not interested, leave the room or go to library than to sit in there to misbehave. If you misbehave and I catch you, you are in trouble. I will discipline you a lot. So if you know that you're not interested, you walk out. Simple. I don't force any student to come to my class to study. No, I won't force you. I won't beg you. I will not even motivate you. It is your responsibility to study. So God is not begging anyone to worship him. Christ is not begging anyone to believe in him, that he is the Lord and Savior. No. But when you die, you see your foolishness. When you die, you are dead. Christ will judge you no matter who you are, your faith, what you believe in. Christ is the supreme, whether you like it or not. This is the truth. It is the fact. And fact is information without emotion. I don't care whether you are hurt or not by telling the truth. If you die, I don't care. So whether you are doing parenting or a parenthood, it is your duty to train the child in the Lord. Do your part. When he grows and departs, none of your business. You have no right to sit down and assume based on the stubbornness of this generation. So therefore, you're not going to do your work. You are an irresponsible parent. So nurture them, teach, guide, and mentor them towards a successful future and in God's word. So I didn't end there. And so the and there is trying to add, I think, a conjunction in terms of the part of speech, if I'm not mistaken. So we are trying to add and in God's word. So today we are going to speak about or talk about single parenting and parenting. So one on single parenting. So one on single parenting. Single parenting has become increasingly common in society today. They give birth anyhow. We even have some laws where the couples can go into agreement. I will give birth with you, give you money, and then you will not marry. It has become rampant, even among Christians. They don't want to marry. They want to give birth. And then they take care of the child. Now the question is that, you having your parents, did they do the same thing to you? Were you brought up by single parents or double parents? It is senseless to officially assume that I won't marry, but I want to give birth. But if you don't marry, it is a sin. That's number one. And to give birth without marrying the mother too is also a sin. You have no salvation in this life. Devoid of worldly wisdom, don't be deceived by the word Colossians 2 verse 8, by some tradition that nowadays, for Ghana as an example, when you marry, or I won't even say Ghana, the whole world nowadays, marriage is contract. The women have been using the opportunity of divorce to gain a lot. We have so many billionaires who have gained the money through intermittent marriages. 2 or 10 marriages, they marry people who are wealthy, the men. When they divorce, they split your inheritance and then they take their share or their shares. 2, mostly the man is uncertain whether the woman or the girl will give birth or not. So they prefer to impregnate her before the marriage. Still, it is a sin. Hebrews 13 verse 4. Sex after marriage. So here we are saying that the best thing is to marry. When you decide not to marry, that one, it is a sin. When you impregnate a girl before you marry her to, it is a sin. When you decide to impregnate a girl to give birth for you, but you're not going to marry her, it is also a sin. So you are a sinner, basically. You have no excuse. No matter your justification from this life. Now, if you want to know whether the girl or the woman or the lady, the wife will give birth or not, then go for medicals. The medicals is there. If you are uncertain, do 2 or 3 to confirm whether the woman is fertile or not. And even I don't have time for this. Once again, we don't marry because of children. You understand? You don't marry because of children. We have so many reasons why people should marry. So I'm surprised why people they are centering their interest only on childbirth. The child can die anyway, and he can become a fool based on how your conscience. You see, you were a cheat. Somebody has train up the daughter. And your evil mind is that I want to just give birth. Sometimes they won't even tell the woman in question. It is after the pregnancy and then the delivery is when they will tell you that, or the man will tell you that, I won't marry you. I will take care of my child. You have wasted, number one, you have disgraced the woman and then the parents. And then number two, she becomes stranded. Who will marry a woman having a child already? You have destroyed her life. You have distorted her future. Her friends have married and they are with their husbands. Why should you do this to someone's daughter? Will you be happy if this is done to your sister? And I'm saying that most children of that, they don't have sense when they grow. In my own view, sometimes they also grow to also imitate what their father did. That my dad cheated on my mother, on his wife, to give birth to me, so I will also do the same thing. They grow with wicked mentality because as they were growing, they lacked father and mother love. You see? So it is not good, and it is not good in terms of the society. It is not good on the child. So the father is staying elsewhere, and then the mother is also staying elsewhere. It is not good. So we think that single parenting has become increasingly common in society. Contract marriage. Nowadays, this is what the boys are doing. So the women, be careful and then be alert. While the Bible does not directly address the modern concept of single parenting, it offers principles that can guide us. The Bible didn't tell us. And don't sit anywhere to think that God approved a single parent. It is not true. You won't find this in the Bible and you can't prove it. It is not true. The Bible emphasizes the importance of family unity. As we read in Genesis 2 verse 24, Matthew 19 verse 5, family unity. The Bible emphasizes the importance of family unity. I've been saying that education without the Bible is useless. If you're a Christian father and your child has grown to develop the idea of not wanting to marry, then you are a failure. Don't tell me that it is his own choice. You are a failure, in case you are unaware. Now, if you are a friend to your child, what advice did you give him? What advice did you... Now he is a bit adult. He's staying on his own, has rented his own apartment. Does not mean that he has the right entirely to even do evil. No. This will go against you, and on the day of judgment, you're going to answer questions to God. Once again, my father taught me that one, I think the womanizer. I was then 15 years of age. I should not be a womanizer. And I must marry only one woman. I must marry. He didn't say I should give birth. He said I must marry only one woman. Only one woman. That was what my dad taught me. And I'm still using it by now. And when he was alive, he was my closest friend. My closest friend in this life was my father. I don't like friends. So if you're a parent, what are you telling your child? Now I am grown. I stay on my own. I have not deviated from what my father taught me. So what do you mean by the child has grown? So it means that you didn't train him well. You left him to his own fate to decide what he wanted. Sometimes the children have now grown, they are working, they are finished their parents. So they have now become the parent, and the parent have now become the child. So they dictate to them. If you're a child, this is pride. And it was pride that led Absalom to die prematurely. You will also go and then answer questions. Now, don't think that when you die, then everything has ended. You go to hell straight. From the Taros to hell. You have no salvation. So if you don't want to go to heaven, that one, fine. I don't care. The student, I've been telling them that if you want to fail your exams, there's no problem. But if you want to pass, then you must study. So if you want to go to, if your vision is to go to hell, I care less. I won't beg you, because Christ himself is not begging you that you should come to heaven. He tries to save you. If you insist in going to Eccl and hell, no one cares. But if you want to go to heaven, from paradise to heaven, then you must refrain from what you think that now I want to give birth and take care of the child. Now, we continue by saying that the Bible emphasizes the importance of family unity with passages in Genesis 2 verse 24, Matthew 19 verse 5, describing the union of a husband and a wife as a pivotal, foundational, pivotal or key foundational. Two parents are to train a child or to train children. Pivotal foundation. So the foundation is husband and wife. However, Scripture also acknowledges various family circumstances, including widowhood, separation, and cases where one parent raises children alone when the spouse is dead. That one, you qualify to be a single parent. The separation is caused by misunderstanding. Divorce is not good. In fact, a divorce is a sin, especially where the partner has not committed a fornication. This is a sin, no matter your excuse. Except fornication is what we read in the Bible. Except. And if we have some husbands or we have some couples where the other fornicated and was forgiven. Of course, you must also see to it that you were not a contributing factor. Maybe you pushed this partner into that. So when you divorce him or her too, you are also at a fault. You were a contributing factor. So now that there's a problem, there is what we call push factor. You pushed this person into it. So when the problem has come, you stay in there to solve with him or her. So widowhood is there. That one will render you as a single parent. Separation is also there, where you can also become a single parent. There could be 1 year, 6 months, 5 years. Some can separate for so many years because of a simple misunderstanding where they have refused to solve it. So I think here are the instances where you qualify to become a single parent, or you can choose to go and then adopt, as already have mentioned. In these situations, God's grace and provision are evident, showing that while God's idea is for children to be raised by both parents, He is close to the brokenhearted and supports those who are alone. The Bible encourages Christians to care for widows and orphans, a principle that can be applied to single parents and their children. Let's go to 1 Timothy 5 verse 3 to 7, and then James 1:27. James 1:27. Pure and undefiled religion before God and the Father is this: to care for the orphans and widows in their affliction, and to keep oneself unspotted from the world. I mentioned the 1 Timothy 5 verse 3 to 5. 1 Timothy 1. The second Thessalonians. I think 1 Timothy 5 verse 3 to 5. 5 verse 3. Honor widows who are truly widows. But if any widow has children or grandchildren, let them first learn to practice piety at home and to repay their parents. For this is good and acceptable before God. Verse 5. Now she who is truly a widow and desolate trusts in God and continues in supplications and prayers night and day. So here, in summary, we're saying that now there's nothing wrong when someone is a single parent. We are not making reference to when you decided to give birth to become a single parent. No. Now here you are a widow, the child is an orphan, both parents are dead, so the granny or someone elsewhere, it could be the successor, has decided to take care of this child. Bible is telling we Christians to support these parents, to support the child. Even the widow must be supported. Now he or she is alone, and therefore, in terms of basic needs, and God Himself will take care of this widow. So this one is applied in the Bible, and not a situation where voluntarily and then intentionally decided to give birth and take care of the child. Single parenting sometimes leads to vulnerableness. You become so vulnerable. You are exposed to danger. The girl can even become impregnated. So vulnerable. So vulnerable. And we are not saying that living with your parent, both parents, does not also lead to being vulnerable. But the case is more with being a single parent than the double parent. Implications for Christian parents. So if you're a Christian and you're a single mother or father, here you are. For Christian single parent, the journey can be challenging. Of course, why not? If not, why not? He or she faces the dual responsibility of providing for their children's physical, emotional, and spiritual needs while navigating his or her personal faith. It is not easy. It is just not easy. Now we have so many women who are also interested in just giving birth without marriage. Initially, I was firing the boys who have adapted to give birth and then take care of their own children. We also have women, and these women is because of pride and then disrespect. Pride. What men can do, women can even do it better. So they don't want any man to rule them. You have even deviated from nature. You have to be ruled by a man, by force. God, Christ, husband, wife, children. They want to be autonomous. So they will go and give birth with the man. They don't care whether the man is married. Their interest is that they want to give birth. They don't want to marry. For example, to cook for the husband, maybe in the morning to prepare breakfast, to cook for him in the evening. No. They don't want to be rude. So you hide them a room, and then this woman is there with the children. That's all. They don't even care to become a second wife, third, fifth, sixth, and 10th wife. They care less. They want to have children and live by their own. But you see that they suffer a lot. Those who will be truthful, they themselves, they struggle a lot. They go through hell to take care of these children. I don't want to, normally when I'm preaching, I don't want to cite the media. What I've read from the news, I've heard from TV. But you are hereby informed that most women who divorce because of the husband property, later they come out to confess that it is not easy to raise children. Now, we are told that raising children in the home is difficult than being an employee to a company. This is what the women, those who have divorced their husbands because of properties and some kind of misunderstanding, they are now suffering. And very soon, their children decide not to respect the mother. Children mostly fear the father than the mother. So those who are challenging that, they can raise their own children. We are there to see. But I have an evidence of at least one person who told me that initially I was telling her that your child will soon start to disrespect you. By hearing the voice of the father alone, will put him or her to order in the home. Or when the child is aware that the father comes home 5 p.m. from 4 o'clock onwards, the child tries to behave well, put things in order before the father gets home. So there's fear in the home when there's a father than only a mother. The mother is what I call user-friendly. And that's why most children don't respect the mothers. And if you're a father, you must also train your children to respect and value the mother as they respect and they value you. So me, as you see, if I come home and my wife should tell me that she has lined up a punishment for the children, so I should come and then take over, I won't. What are you doing there? We are all human beings. If I travel, I can die. So when I die, I want to train the children. When they offend, you want to cane them, you must cane them. I will not come and then cane them, so that always I'll be wicked. They will always respect me. They will always fear me. No. They must equally. Now they are saying that there must not be a comfort zone in the home. No comfort zone. In that the mother is disciplined, likewise the husband. So when the father wants to beat the child, then he runs to the mother under her umbrella. So there's a comfort zone. The child must not find any comfort zone in the home. The two must be disciplined equally. So take notes. So the single father or the father will suffer to provide physical needs, emotional needs, and spiritual needs while navigating his or her own personal faith as well. Now, balancing work, parenting, and spiritual life can be overwhelming without the support of a spouse. Yes. It is so tiring. One person doing everything. You think it's easy? You bath them to send them to school. You go to work to go and pick them, to prepare food for them, to wash. It is not easy. It is just not easy. Single parents may feel inadequate or isolated, leading to feelings of guilt or shame. Yes, at times they feel ashamed. They feel ashamed. PTA meeting, they want to invite both parents. Then you went alone or you go alone. When they ask you, your husband is dead, we are divorced, this and that. Sometimes this will even have a psychological effect on the child. They are happy and happier at times when the two parents send this child to school. Then you all depart. Sometimes you all go and then you carry the child. One will hold the other hand, the other two will hold that, so that the child is found in the middle. But you are alone. So some instances you yourself you feel shy to go to the gathering because the gathering is couples gathering, not single parent gathering. What will you say when you go there? You feel shy. You feel shy, and sometimes you are embarrassed. So feeling of guilt or shame. The Bible encourages parents to raise children in the training and instruction of the Lord. Ephesians 6 verse 4. Ephesians 6 verse 4. And you fathers, do not provoke your children to wrath, but bring them up in the discipline and admonition of the Lord. So here you see that at least two parents would have been ideal. However, one isn't a sin. Please, if you are single parents, based on being a widow, based on adoption, based on orphanage, you are at no fault. Okay? Your husband has, maybe you didn't marry a Christian. So your husband has divorced you. The husband isn't a Christian. And he doesn't believe in except fornication principle. So he has divorced you. You cannot marry. Both must stay alone until you die. Either you join or you stay alone. When the husband marries, he has sinned equally with the person that he has married or he marries. Same also to the wife. That's why the Bible hates a divorce entirely. You must always pray to avoid divorce. No matter what the problem, try to solve it and then let it go. The single Christian parent is tasked with instilling values of faith, integrity, and love, even as he faces unique challenges. You can't do it alone. No. You cannot do it alone. No matter who you are, your money, you cannot do it alone. You are not God, and God did not create the earth to be so. Even if you go to the Garden of Eden, one man, one wife. The two gave birth to Adam, Cain, and then Abel, in that order. You see? So God did not form the world so. So don't be an antichrist to turn what God has formed already. You face more challenges, unique challenges. The word is unique challenges, unique. So unique. And you see that, sometimes you are even defeated. Sometimes you are defeated. For example, how can a father, for example, if I have a daughter who has reached the teenage where she has started to ovulate, how can a father, if it is not good for the father to see the nakedness of the child, the daughter, it is not even right where your child has begun to develop breasts and then you didn't knock, you just went to the bathroom or her room and found her naked. No, we don't do that. This is the mother's work. If you are going, you knock. Yes, come in. Yes, didn't say come in. Yes, come in. Before you go in, your own daughter. When she was a child, that was different. From day one to somewhere, maybe 2-3 years. And even when this child is infant, how can you bath her publicly? How can you do it? And the whole society will be looking at you. These are the work of the woman. I made mention that the child is a girl. Mostly women are comfortable to bath the male child, but men are not comfortable to bath the girl child. They mostly want to leave it to the mother. Even that one was when she was a child. Now she has grown. You become uncomfortable. And I'm saying that, how are you going to educate her in terms of how to bath? We mean when she has begun to ovulate, when she has become a woman. How do you educate her? I mean, proper education. How do you do it? This must be done by the mother. Equally, she also ovulates every month. So this is the work of the mother. So you are going to face a unique challenge. You will struggle so much. And if you're not lucky, you will even feel shy to educate her. Or what you will say is that, or go to the internet and read. So at times you have to assign your child to some woman to educate her on how to change her sanitary pad and then the tampons, a whole lot. What to use to buy this when you are ovulated. The men don't know it. It's a fact. So this must be done by the woman. So if you're a father to this child, you face unique challenge. Unique challenge. 1B, implication for the Christian parents. Implication for the implication for children of single parents. 1A, we looked at implication for the Christian parents. Here, we are going to the child, him or herself. Children of single parents may experience unique emotional and social challenges emotionally. He lacks fatherly love. He lacks motherly love. So emotionally, he is unstable. And social challenges. Where's your father? Where's your mother? The children may choose to mock this your child. I would say they choose. There will be mockery. There will be mockery. Especially, as I said, when they need the two parents at a PTA meeting or at a school gathering. Then you go alone. The absence of one parent can impact their sense of security, identity, and spiritual growth. And I hope you are listening. This is self-explanatory. The absence of one parent can impact their sense of security, identity, and spiritual growth. So the mother has her work to do, and then the father too has his work as well. They may face questions about their family structure, which can affect their self-esteem, especially if they are in environments where traditional family structures are emphasized. I mean, how can a child face the society or the community where they need two parents and the yours is only one? Traditionally, they will suffer. Sometimes they become social misfits. Some become timid, static, and social misfit. Oh, it was even here. Thank God. They become so timid. Always, they are so timid. No self-esteem. They become static. They are always so isolated. They don't have the zeal to explore. They can't move. There are some barriers. When I go here, they'll make fun of me, so I won't go. Maybe there's a crowd they want to join. They will make fun of me. The person becomes static and timid. Becomes social misfit. Most of the children even disrespect and disregard the parent. Yeah. So those of you who are also going to adopt a child, be careful, because from my little experience, not all the children that you adopt will respect you when they go in future. Now, I'll give you an example. 2020, then I had this story. I know of a man who married a wife with a daughter. They have stayed for 30 years. Now, the man sponsored the girl's nursing education. And if you're in Ghana, then you know the cost involved in terms of nursing. So it means that the mother came to the marriage with this girl being a small child. And the man has taken her as his own child, trained her through education, and of course the mother didn't give birth again. Now the girl offended, and the father wanted to punish the girl. The girl told this man that you are not my father, and foolishly she was supported by the mother. Now my father advised me that in terms of a relationship, I must not court with a woman with a child. In fact, even if I didn't know and I discover later, I must end this relationship by force, by all means possible. That was advice and caution that he gave me. And I hate a woman with a child that should come and marry me. For what? Sometimes they are even selfish. After all, she has a child. She doesn't care whether she gives birth again or not. She has her own child. Finished. And you see that you are brainwashed. That if you love me, love my animal. Yeah, you have this as a common proverb in Ghana. If you love me, love my animal, or the animal that I rear. So it means that once you love the woman, you must equally and by force love the child to provide for her. And when they grow old and they are misbehaving and you want to correct, the appreciation is that you are not my father. So disheartening, so straight. Then this man divorced the wife, and then he sacked her to go with the child. Now you have lost good 30 years. Now he's grown with some gray hair, a whole lot. He has no benefit from this marriage. So me, as you see me, at my right senses, I am not going to marry any woman with any child, no matter your excuse. I care less. It is not my business, my friend. I have no, and I will not advise anybody to go and marry a woman with a child. No. Start afresh to build your own family, ideally. Even your own children will disrespect you in future. How much more someone's? And the most annoying part is that the father of this child has the right to even walk into your womb that I came to look at my, or maybe to get my child. So annoying. So the best thing is that you avoid this one. Start your own institution. Bring your own family. And we are saying that these children that are mostly adopted, they go to disrespect the parents. After or at the end, they will know that the child is not bearing your surname. Most of them are disrespectful. I said from my own experience, we see it in movies a whole lot. And the mother will support the child, being a boy or a girl. That's why we say that most of the children even disrespect and disregard. They will disregard you. They won't see the value of you. Why? Because now they are matured. They have achieved what they want, and you have labored all your life. You thought you were doing the right thing. Of course, it was the right thing, because the Bible is not even against it. Once again, when you are married and your wife is barren for a while, don't go to adopt. Why are you adopting? Mostly they feel shy. Mostly. And this is a hypocrisy. You are being a hypocrite. When Isaac and Rebecca married, it took them 20 years. It took them 20 good years before Isaac prayed on their behalf and God granted them Jacob and Esau. Did you see Isaac in the Bible going to adopt a child? He didn't adopt any child. And in this, I think that God will see your faithfulness. If you're mocking me, I care less. Now, Peter was an elder in the Bible. Peter was an elder because Peter married. He gave birth. And they were in the faith. So he became an elder. Of course, in my church, unless you have given birth, the child is baptized. There are so many qualifications to become an elder. Compared to this denomination where you see some small boys and girls, they are deacons and deaconesses and a whole lot. And Peter was single then. He didn't marry, he didn't give birth. Now they are all dead. Where are they? They are all in paradise. There is no qualification before going to paradise. In case you are unaware, these are some sensible things that you must know. That you're not going to heaven or hell with a child. So when you are married and your wife has not, in fact, your mind should not always even be on childbearing. No. You see, when you are so anxious, that is where sometimes you face these issues or challenges. When you're so purpose, and I want to marry at 28 years, so that by 40 years my child is this and that. You are living with your own timetable. The child can even die. The child can die. So, what will you do? So therefore, you don't marry with the intention of giving birth by force. No. When you are married and God has not given you a child, my friend, stay single. Let them mock you. And I'm sure that during Rebecca's time, she was also mocked. They cared less. Hannah was barren. We will go there. He cried. He didn't adopt any child. God gave her Samuel and then other siblings later. So don't go to adopt anybody. It means that you feel shy. And by adopting, you become a hypocrite. So that the society, when they see you with a child, oh, okay, they have a child. For what? To gain what? And if you are unlucky, one day this child will officially expose you publicly. And then it's where you see. However, some do that, thinking that this newly adopted child will bring their luck. Yeah, it is true. Sometimes out of that, they become pregnant. But I do not value this. I have time for that. And I believe that I won't do it. I won't do it. You pray and pray and pray. And at the right time, God will answer you. See, implication for the church. The church has a responsibility to support single parents and their children since they are liabilities. They are liabilities. And by question, the church must also train the church members well that they shouldn't go and give birth being a single parent. Now, it is even a sin. by fornication. Now, if you are there happily, the members are giving birth anyhow, you are hereby informed that they become a burden on the church. Many Christian communities emphasize the importance of family, yet single parents can sometimes feel overlooked or judged. Yes, sometimes their interest is on the family and not on single parents. For that one too, it's not all that good. But when the person did it confidentially, they might be ignored to learn sense, because you don't put your burden on the church. We are to work to help the church, to grow the church, than becoming a burden for the church. The church must be a place of refuge, not judgments and burden, God's compassion and support. Yes, when the person is widowed, there's a separation, the child is an orphan. That one, the church must not be partial. Then the widow, the orphan, must find the church as refuge. The church must support. Use the correction. Church members must even donate to bring up a discharge in the Lord. When the church welcomes single parents and provides resources for them, it demonstrates God's love and care. Simple. So simple and so understandable. Church leaders and members can create support groups, offer counseling, and develop programs that assist single parents practically and spiritually. Sometimes the husband died when the child was young, so the mother lacks the requisite or the prerequisite experience. So there might be support groups, for example, a women organization. Then the men who are also matured in this children upbringing, they are there to support. If possible, some counseling, when the church is having a counselor or having counselors. By doing so, they reflect the love of Christ and create an inclusive environment where every family type is supported. So being a parenting or parenthood, they are all supported. And sometimes there's no segregation. So even the new members who join the church cannot differentiate between a child living with a biological parent and the one with the single parent. There must not be a segregation, a partiality, no. So that's the end of single parenting. And I hope you have heard a lot. Now, two, parenthood. Today we're trying to justify between parenting and parenthood. Two are better than one, and it takes two to tango. Two are better than one. Ecclesiastes 4 verse 9 to 12, and it takes two to tango. Normally, initially we were hearing it takes two to tango. Hey, not showing that, rather it takes two to tango. That's the sense of Genesis 2 verse 24, Matthew 19 verse 5. Now the phrase, it takes two to tango, means or indicates that two involved parties need to act cooperatively if an endeavor is to succeed. So you can imagine the phrase, it takes two to tango, indicates that two involved parties involved need to act cooperatively. So they must cooperate, mutual understanding. If an endeavor is to succeed, if they want to succeed, they must be one, of same mind. That's the meaning of it takes two to tango. Now let's try to explain the Ecclesiastes 4 verse 9 to 12. In Ecclesiastes 4 verse 9 to 12, King Solomon stresses our weakness and vulnerability as human beings and the significance of our life, significance of others in our lives. We are all vulnerable. Every human being is vulnerable. I sitting here, I can't predict my future and even tomorrow. When you are ill, it's when you will feel the essence of a partner or someone to support you. Mostly when we are active, we think we don't need anyone. We are on our own. Until an illness or disease will strike you, it's when you see and value the importance of a human being. So, someone is saying that our weaknesses and vulnerability as human beings and the significance of others in our lives. When you pick Ecclesiastes 4 verse 9 to 12, this is what must come into your mind. It may be a delight to the ego to say that you don't need anybody, but it is a lie. That's why I said, when you are active, when things are moving on smoothly, we don't need anybody. We need no one, because things are moving on so smoothly. We are agile, but it is a lie. All we have ever done since we were born was to need somebody. Remember when you were born, your mom had to breastfeed you. My mom breastfeed me. He had to breastfeed me. So breastfeeding took place. We were so vulnerable, especially at times when I'm watching some videos on children, I say, wow. Sometimes, in fact, your eyes are not open. You don't even know where the breast is to suck it. So the mother will have to die. You can imagine. Oh, may God bless women in this life. May God just bless women. On and on and on and on before the child's eye will open. How? I wonder how the mother even communicates with the child when she sees that he or she is hungry. A whole lot. You were so vulnerable. We were all vulnerable when we were born. And the mother could have easily killed us. And if she is unlucky, she will even sleep on you and then you die. So carefully and cautiously, you are molded. All we have ever done since we were born was to need somebody to carry us about. So the mother had to carry us, both on the hands and then at the back, to feed, to dress, to love, to protect, to advise, to teach, to direct, to befriend, to encourage, conserve us, and share life with us. Yes, this is the teaching of the mother or the parent. Hey, you knew nothing. You didn't even know how to speak. In fact, you didn't know that you are, or maybe you've been born to Ghana, USA, or wherever you are. You knew nothing. So vulnerable. So someone had to carry us about. Someone fed us, dressed, loved, protected, advised, taught, directed, befriended, encouraged, and shared life with us. And overarching all the human aid we have needed is the sustaining grace of God, who gives to all life and breath and all things. Acts 17, verse 25. Nor is he worshipped with men's hands, as though he needed anything, since he gives life to all breath and all things. So the supreme supplier is God himself. Same God in the beginning, that it was no good that man should be alone. Genesis 2 verse 18, as I was saying. So you see that God knew that we are going to depend on someone. That's why he said, it is not good for man to be alone. We are by nature dependent creatures. We are all. We are by nature dependent creatures. We depend on each other. It is a lie for someone to debate that he or she doesn't depend on anybody. You are a liar. At least when you were born, you dependent on your parents, precisely the mother. So we are all dependent creatures. King Solomon's message is that we need friends and companions to pick us up when we fail. At times you are so sad and you need someone to encourage you. Sometimes you fall down and someone has to lift you because your leg has been twisted. Maybe you are in a gutter. One leg is in the gutter, one is outside. So you need someone to lift you up. To warm us when life grows hard and cold. When you are cold, sometimes you need someone to comfort you. The child needs the mother for comfort. Sometimes the husband needs to hug the wife for warmth. To advise and encourage us and uphold us when we are under assault. Sometimes you need someone to intervene when you are under assault. Maybe someone is trying to bully you, so someone will have to enter in and then the thief will vanish. Sometimes the soldier, the police, the security man, it was through his or her intervention, being a woman. That's why your phone was not snatched. You needed justice. And you have to go to the police station to lodge a complaint. So we say that under assault or dare to enlarge life's joys by giving us someone to share them with. Even sometimes when you are eating, and eating alone, you will eat and enjoy it when you eat it with the rightful person. That's all. I mean, you can imagine a husband and wife eating together, a sister and brother eating together, a mother and daughter, a mother and son, the parent and children eating together, inviting your in-laws eating together. It's a way of socializing, and then there's joy in this. Some fear the hurt that, now let's see why people are, they don't want to. Some fear the hurt that getting close to others may bring. They are afraid. So nowadays they are saying that the women don't like marriage. They marry you, they will divorce to break your heart. They take your properties and then they vanish away. So some are afraid. Some too, because of broken heart, they fear to love. That's what we're saying, that some fear the hurt that getting close to others may bring. But there's nothing compared to the agony of isolation. You understand? It is so easy to be alone. When you are alone, as Adam was, then you will appreciate what I'm saying. Aloneness is awful. It is so awful to be alone. Love is always a risk, of course, but it is a risk well worth the taking. Alone is awful. Love is always a risk, but it is a risk well worth the taking. At least you must take the risk to love. Naomi needs her roots. Moses his Joshua. David his Jonathan. And Paul his Timothy. It takes two to tango. Now, if you want to go afar, go with someone. Why? Because sometimes when you fall down, then someone too will lift you. Now, let's read the exercise again. 4 verse 9 to 12. Two are better than one because they have a good reward for their toil. Two better than one. For if they fall, one will lift up his fellow. So when one falls down, one will lift up. But woe to him who is alone when he falls and has not another to lift him up. Yes, when you are alone, if you are going and then you fall, for example, you fall into a pit. Who will lift you? Who will go and call for help? So you'll be there and then you die if God does not provide some kind of a savior. And again, if two lie together, they keep warm. Already I've explained. But how can one keep warm alone? And though a man might prevail against one who is alone, Two will withstand him. A threefold cord is so easily broken. When they stand two as double, how can you penetrate or how can you defeat them so easily? You will suffer. They join forces to attack you. Two skills against one skill. Two styles against one style. Two experiences against one experience. So that means they will overcome you. For this reason, even Christ had two earthly parents to prove God the Father never sided single parent ideology. Christ had earthly parents, Joseph and Mary. You see? The Father is God. Why didn't God raise Christ in heaven? Why? But rather, he brought him to this earth. This should tell you that God is in support of a mother and a father. That's why he created Eve for Adam. Genesis 2 verse 18. Jesus was raised by two earthly parents so that he could enjoy both fatherly and motherly love, lacking no psychological and physical needs. He lacked nothing. So spiritual God was there. Even the parents even provided the spiritual support. Everything. Christ lacked nothing. He lacked nothing. We as Christians, the Bible is our constitution. In case you're unaware, if we're Christian, the Bible is your constitution. So we don't go beyond it. We follow what God has commanded. He believed in united family, not single parents. Joseph and Mary taught Jesus the basic household chores and family trade. He was taught, he was inculcated, he was taught, he was trained. Mark 6 verse 3. Matthew 13 verse 55. Matthew 13 verse 55. Is this not the carpenter's son? Is this not the carpenter's son? Is not his mother called Mary, and his brothers James and Joseph and Simon and Judas? Mark 6 verse 3. Is this not the carpenter, the son of Mary, the brother of James, Joseph, Judas, and Simon? Let me see the Matthew 13 verse 55. I mentioned Joseph. Let me see if it is Joseph 13 verse 55. Okay, so here was Joseph. And then Mark 6 verse 3. It's in Joseph. So Joseph, Judas, and Simon. So you see that, is this not the carpenter's son? Now what conclusion did you, or do you conclude, or do you derive? It means that he was taught carpentry by Joseph. That's why we're saying that Joseph and Mary taught Jesus the basic household chores and family's trade. He was a carpenter. God purposed that two agreed parents must train children. God purposed that two agreed parents must train children. It takes two to tango. We are comparing and contrasting between parenting and parenthood. Now, which is which? The training from the father varies from the mother. So the father has his own way of training the child. The mother has her own way of training the child. As I've been saying all the time, my mom taught me how to wash clothes. How to wash, I was taught by my mother. And my father also taught me different things. It takes two to tango. Each play a vital role in the child's stages of life. Each plays a vital role. So in the home, the father should not think that he's the only person to train the child, and the mother shouldn't also think so. No. It takes the two to train the child to become someone who is responsible. It takes two mutually agreed parents to train a responsible child. It is a teamwork. They must be responsible, and the child too will also be. They must agree. They must mutually agree. That's why I said that the child must not find a comfort zone in the family. So the father will give you lashes, the mother too will give you lashes. So where will you go when you offend? They will beat you, so that the father will not come home, and then the wife will narrate the offenses of the child, and therefore he brings a cane and the father will cane. No. The father will not also be in the home to list the offenses of the child when the mother comes, and then he will punish. No. Each is equally responsible, and the punishment from A is same as the punishment from B. Now, conclusion: while single parenting is not the ideal scenario depicted in the Bible, it is a reality for many Christians, for many Christian families today. Yes, but it's not ideal. Most of the social vices originate from children trained by single parent than double parent. Now, you can bet me on this, but it is a fact. Most social vices, armed robbery, smoking, betting, gambling, womanizing, raping, stealing, a whole lot, drinking, joining Freemasons. When you find average, you will see that most of these vices are coming from children raised by single parents. If you think I'm lying, go to social studies, the family system, and you see a teenage pregnancy, a whole lot are all from this broken homes or single parents. And normally, when there's a divorce, the father is angry with the wife, and in effect, he stops to take care of the children. I see no sense in this. The issue is with the wife, not the children. So also the mother can decide to divorce the husband, and because of the annoyance of the husband, she will refuse to take care of the child. Your grudge is with your husband. The children are strangers, so please leave them alone. Single parenting is good, but double parents are better, far better. Single parenting is good, but double parents are better and advantageous. In contrast, when we are comparing, you can imagine a child having two parents. They just enjoy times, especially when the mother is working in different company, the father is also working in different place. You see, the child becomes happier to visit mommy, today I want to visit my dad. So the child goes there, he becomes happy. So also when he or she goes to the mother's company, what if only one parent? And because of this, the children mostly gain some kind of a favor. Sometimes they are even given the same work when they grow. Naturally, people love children. When you see them, you see they are adorable, so you admire them. I remember from my mother, when I was a child, I was so big. She said I was so huge that she couldn't even carry me on her back. So I was being carried on the back by her two younger sisters. Of course, one is late. So she was sending me to a market, a mini market to sell. So when she went, she put me down, and she was saying that there was one fisherman. He loved me so much. So whenever he went fishing and returned, he gave my mom big fish in my favor. that, Madam, cook for your son to eat. In fact, I didn't say it. And she told me as I grew. So children are adorable. And almost all the adults, we admire children. We admire them. We give them gifts at times in a car. You see that the child will want to crawl from the mother to come. Sometimes we want to hold you. They are adorable. Sometimes we are even forced to at least have some kind of a conversation with them. Sometimes you can also try to pick this child, because the child is crying to come to you. So what will you do? You have no option than to accept him or her. And sometimes it becomes very difficult when the mother alights. The child may decide not to also alight and go. A whole lot. So we say that children are adorable. So therefore, we are saying that single parenting is good, but double parents are better and advantageous in contrast. Now, having said that, my name is Joseph Atta. My number is 0248026557. This is my name for the truth. And next week, God willing, will be on the 6th episode 4. The 6 meanings of the phrase train up child in the way he should go, or train up a child in the way he should go. So we will look at 6 meanings. What was King Solomon saying? That train up a child in the way he should go. On this note, I will say thank you so much for your time. Bye bye.